The regular meeting of the Aurora City Council for Monday, July 13, 2026 is called to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Kaufman.
Here.
Councilmember Andrews.
Here.
Councilmember Bergen.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Coombs.
Present.
Councilmember Gardner.
Here.
Councilmember Hancock. Here. Councilmember Horton. Here. Councilmember Jackson.
Here.
Councilmember Lawson.
Here.
Councilmember Medina. Councilmember Wiles. Here. There's a quorum.
Please join me in an invocation. O Lord, our God and our Father, we come to you and we ask that you look upon this particular gathering tonight to keep us safe and guide us in our decisions. Bless our city with honorable citizens, industries, sound education, and good government. Unite our community together, even though we come from different backgrounds. We pray that there will be justice and peace in our city. Give the city council and citizens the wisdom, direction, and sensitivity to the business and proceedings before us tonight. Hear us, therefore, as we commit this meeting to the help of our entire community. Amen. During executive session, we talked about a real property conveyance and contractual issues. Motion is in order for the adoption of the minutes from June 22nd, 2026. Moved by Councilmember Hancock, seconded by Councilmember Andrews. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of the approval of the minutes for June 22nd, 2026.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
Mayor yes.
Councilmember Horton.
Yes.
Councilmember Gardner.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously to adopt the June 22nd meeting minutes. And Mayor, I believe we skipped the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, wow. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And also the land acknowledgement. City of Aurora acknowledges that we gather on the territories and ancestral homelands of the Cheyenne, Ute, Arapaho, and Lakota peoples, past and present. We also recognize the 48 contemporary tribal nations that are historically tied to the lands that make up the state of Colorado. Indigenous peoples have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties that these nations have to their traditional homelands and to their vital place in the ecosystem are renewed and reaffirmed, and we are called upon to be better stewards of the land we inhabit as we continue to work to meet the needs of our entire community. Motion is in order for adoption of the agenda. Moved by Councilmember Hancock, seconded by Councilmember Andrews. For the adoption of the agenda. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of the agenda.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
Katie, I'm also a yes.
Councilmember Gardner.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously to adopt the agenda.
Decorum statement. Oops, sorry. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. City Council has asked me as a city attorney, as the parliamentarian, to read the decorum statement. So City Council has established a public forum to receive input from the community. The public invited to be heard portion of the meeting is limited by council rules to a total of 1 hour, where each speaker allotted 3 minutes. Speakers signed up to comment on agenda items are also limited to 3 minutes, and comments must relate directly to the item being considered. And so if you're here to speak on an agenda item, please make sure you do speak during the agenda item being called up instead of during public comment, because we want your comments to be part of the record on each agenda item. So keep that in mind. If you did sign up for a particular agenda or to sign up to talk during public comment but do want to talk on an agenda item, please let the city clerk know right there, and she'll get you signed up in the right place. All participants are expected to observe the same standards of decorum as the council. Personal attacks, disruptive behavior, and demonstrations such as clapping, snapping, cheering, booing, or similar actions are not permitted. Please show respect to all speakers, regardless of whether you agree with their comments, and allow everyone the opportunity to be heard. Speakers who exceed the 3-minute time limit reduce the opportunity for others to speak. Please be considerate of your fellow residents when preparing your comments. Additionally, we do ask you refrain from using profanity, as children may be present or watching online. Mayor.
Public invited to be heard.
Median Schaffner, followed by Ayante Anderson.
So over the weekend, I joined Miss LaRonda Jones in the city of Atlanta, and she had the opportunity to share her story and her lived experience with the congregation of West End Seventh-day Adventist Church. It was a very populated church, and they were able to hear the name of the city of Aurora as it's referenced to LaRonda Jones's story. So the legacy of Aurora was on full display, as was the legacy of her son. And there were a few things that I heard that moved me that I decided I would fill my first speaking session tonight with. And the first was, when people are going into prayer, oftentimes they use the word Father. We heard you just use it tonight, Mayor Kaufman. And when you use the term Father, that alludes that every child of the Father is a sibling. So we should see each other as brothers, sisters, or however you want to classify that. The reason why that stuck with me so much is because I see LaRonda Jones treat people that way, but it's not reciprocated by members of this council. And so that was a really harsh reality that, yet again, it's those who are affected and impacted by these harms that are expected to hold the most resilience. That's not fair. So what it did was it re-energized the reason why I show up, and it also put me in reflection to ensure that I understand why I still show up. Because there are people that are confused of, you have new council members, so why do you keep coming? And the simple, honest reason is that this was never about an election. This was about different outcomes for the members of this city. And until there are different outcomes coming from the city of Aurora, we are going to continue to show up. And I will also say that there are a few of you that are still in your seat that have caused harm. And I will not sit with that imbalance. So until you too are removed, we will continue to show up. Until Todd Chamberlain is removed, we will continue to show up. We do not confuse progress with permanence.
Ayante Anderson, followed by Tanya Tapachek.
Members of council, there is a new song that is trending by a new rapper called Young Miami. Tonight, I'd like to offer the City Council a remix. After all, judging by the actions of the members of this body, keeping officers who shoot unarmed black people on payroll seems to be more of a priority than delivering accountability to the families they leave behind. So the remix simply says, where all them shooting police officers at? Cashing them paychecks fast, 20s, 50s, 100s cash, still wearing that city badge. Paid leave officers, where y'all at? With benefits all in your bag, while black mamas are still wearing all black. while officers are still getting cash. Spin that check, spin that check, spin that check, spin that check. I want to see the city standing with people, not excuses. Show me where the policy protects the public and not abuses. Show me where transparency ain't hidden in a stack of files. Show me where justice comes before another payroll cycle. Spin that check, spin that check, spin that check. Now, I would like to give a quick lesson to those who oppose members of this council on how to say that you oppose them or do not like them without using any profanity. Councilmember Bergen, I often hear you adding your 2 cents on various issues, but your 2 cents is the reason why they are getting rid of pennies. You are also the type of person who would climb a glass wall just to see what's on the other side. Councilmember Hancock, welcome back to the chambers. You brighten every room that you walk out of. Your presence makes me nostalgic of your absence. Councilmember Lawson, I love that you don't let facts get in the way of your opinions. Intelligence is often chasing you, but you are faster. If you were the prize at the end of a race, I would start running backwards. Councilmember Gardner, I envy the people who don't know you because you are as sharp as a marble. You are like a cloud. When you disappear, it is a beautiful day. Or is that just another Aurora City Council meeting that you are missing? Mayor Kaufman, I expect nothing from you, and somehow you still manage to let me down. Anytime I think I am failing in life, I remember that you exist. I will never forget the day that we met, but I will always keep on trying. That is the way to be able to utilize your First Amendment right without having to say a single cuss word. Thank you.
Tanya Tabachek, followed by Robert Gray.
I think they're running out.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Tanya Tabchek. I'm in Ward 3. The first thing I wanted to say is I always listen to your guys' study session before I come in, at least try to listen to it before coming in here. And regarding meeting with the different council members during your town halls and so forth, sometimes, unfortunately, I can't get out to those town halls. I mean, my mom and my dad are both home, and my brother's special needs, so I have to take care of them. And I mean, the other day, I know Hancock, you had a meeting. It's like my mom was like, "You got to take care of your brother," and it's like, I want to go, but it's like trying to do it. So it's nice to see people's faces here and just to talk to them when I have a chance. That's why I come, and so I could voice my concerns if I have any to you guys. So I'm glad you're here. But with Ms. Lawson, I haven't seen you for a while. But I appreciate everything everyone does. The only other thing that I have 2 things. One is regarding the ADUs. I believe, I don't know if that is coming up soon, but I know that I could have sworn in our neighborhood, there's someone that, it looks like it's a garage, but I don't know if it's pending an ADU approval to complete that attachment to the house. It just looks, that's what I'm thinking it is, but I didn't know if that was actual allowed or not in the city, or if this is part of the one that's coming up from the study session I just listened. And then the other thing is I would like for someone, I know I've talked to Janina and Ms. Wiles, I'm not sure if I talked to Mr. Andrews about it or anyone else about it, about bringing up ordinance or some kind of a direction for the police to actually interact or get training with actual people and not actors. So I know that that's in a process of look into. But my brother flips out off and on, and he says some words and he doesn't mean to say the words, but it's just how he communicates. And sometimes I get scared if he's out and about, and if me and my mom aren't there, what might happen. So I think if someone could reach out, because I don't know how to do that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Robert Gray, followed by Aaron Futrell.
You should be able to give them your information.
Thank you for the opportunity and the opportunity you're giving others tonight to speak to you. I would like to address some good things happening in Aurora and policing and decorum for speech at these meetings. Some good things happening in Aurora include the installation of the bridge at 9 Mile Station over Parker Road, coming in a few months, and police successfully reducing traffic at Parker and 225. And a data center in Aurora that uses 1% of the water the one in Denver uses. And council putting an issue on the ballot for improving public safety via needed police stations and fire department renovations. I appreciate the chance to participate in the surveys that you and previous councils authorized to get input. Here's my February 2025 water bill insert showing one piece of that effort. On policing, I thought it was good that the public could see footage on TV in April, actual footage of the effort the police made to get Mr. Garlington to drop his knife before he stabbed Officer Moore and needed to be shot. The police did their jobs professionally and efficiently in that tragic situation, and I hope the officer is recovering well from his wounds. I was witness a couple of years ago to an attempted robbery at the King Soopers. A man tried to steal $5,000. He was detained until police arrived. It's important to deter theft because, as we know, theft only increases store prices, penalizing working families and retirees alike. The average citizen in Aurora is grateful to law enforcement doing their job to help keep us all safe. Public safety is a high priority for most residents, and the community appreciates strong law enforcement. With the consent decree still in effect and now your creation of the Office of Public Safety Accountability, I'd suggest that all of us let that process continue while monitoring development of it. It does no good to denigrate the police chief or the department or to try to litigate previous cases before the council. Someone decides to litigate a case, take it to court, and try it there. Finally, about lack of decorum I've heard here over the last few months. It's become really appalling and disgusting at times, and it needs to stop. The vast majority of citizens and voters in Aurora are turned off by these tactics. I've heard women be insulted from this podium a few times. It's misogynist. Last meeting, a woman was insulted for talking about something other than policing. Like, how dare she? We don't want to practice a free speech for me, but not for thee. My advice to all speakers is speak clearly, don't threaten or disparage council members or anyone else, and you might be more effective. Don't be performative or provocative, try to be persuasive. Don't be angry, make an argument. Don't be vulgar or just vent. Thank you.
Aaron Futrell, followed by Kirk Manzanares. Wait. I'm sorry, I said Aaron Futrell first. It's okay.
We all look the same. Good evening, council. Good evening, mayor. Hopefully you guys had a good 4th of July. I actually originally wasn't going to speak, and then the other day I drove past the Ace Hardware on Havana, that is no longer, and then I drove past the Safeway, that was no longer, and then realized that the Black Arts Festival in Denver was this week, and so I've entitled this, Why Can't Aurora Have Nice Things? So I hear it quite a bit on social media that Aurora can't have nice things, but the reality is not that Aurora lacks the talent, the resources, or the potential to have great things. The problem is that too often we struggle with vision, execution, and the political will to follow through. Aurora is a city of nearly 400,000 residents, one of the most diverse communities in Colorado, with a rich history, incredible neighborhoods, and people who show up every day to make the city better, yet we continue to leave opportunities on the table. We are facing real challenges, like the mayor pointed out, the drought and how Rangeview had concerns about their water. It requires us to be thoughtful about development, landscaping, and how we invest in our future. Water conservation cannot just be a talking point. It has to shape how we plan our parks, neighborhoods, and economic growth. We have to build smarter, more sustainable communities that respect the realities of living in a changing climate. We also had to be honest about the challenges facing some of our major investments. The Aurora Navigation Center was created with the goal of addressing homelessness and connecting people with resources, but we must acknowledge the concerns around its operation, outcomes, and community confidence. Compassion and accountability are not opposites. We can care about vulnerable residents while demanding that programs funded by taxpayers deliver measurable results. At the same time, we have a major economic opportunities. I keep saying this to the people that I know on council. We can steal the Denver Black Arts Festival from Denver because they're facing bankruptcy. Same thing with the economic issues with the Dragon Boat Festival. I know at least a few of you have heard me say we should explore taking the Dragon Boat Festival from Denver and create more economic opportunities. So we can celebrate our diversity, attract visitors, and create economic activity for local businesses. These events show us exactly what Aurora could become, a destination city where culture, commerce, and community thrive together. The question should not be, why can't Aurora have nice things? The question should be, why aren't we doing everything possible to create them? I'm going to cut this short out of memory for those who have lost their lives from APD.
Kirk Manzanares, followed by Karen Cardoza.
Good evening and welcome back to the People's House. Welcome back to serve us as community members of Aurora, all those who voted to put you in place. Aurora is a beautiful city. I love living in Aurora. There are so many great and wonderful things that make Aurora beautiful. There are a lot of things that we still need to work hard on. And that means us as a community, and that means you guys as the elected officials that we chose to put you on the dais. Let's not forget what the focus is here. The focus is to make Aurora better and to improve the things that need to be worked on. I got a few numbers for you. 478 days, 114 days, 849 days. And I want to know which side of history you choose to be on. Because we all hope, and when I say we all hope, I mean the close to 430 community members that live in Aurora. And yes, I say 430 because I believe there is close to 430 people in the city of Aurora. So we all hope that you want to be on the right side of history. And we all hope that you want to live, you want to work together with everyone to protect and improve the quality of life for every Aurora resident. First and foremost, Todd Chamberlain must go. I also want to put on the forefront of things that's going on in Aurora that we need to take a really good look at, and that's the Aurora Reservoir. And do whatever we can to stop and shut down the fracking in and around the Aurora Reservoir. The other thing that I think is something, we had a data center meeting, but I don't think we covered everything. There could be toxins, there could be waste, there could be contamination, and I don't think there's a safety plan in place for either the Aurora Reservoir or for the data centers. And I think that's something that each and every member of the community and you guys should be looking at, is the safety of Aurora and Aurora's water. With water being at the forefront and the data centers that use up the water and the fracking that's going to go on underneath, that should be looked at, and we should put that at the forefront of everything.
Karen Cardoza, followed by Della Jordan. Okay, Della Jordan, followed by Zachary Cotton.
Excuse my appearance. Aurora Navigation and Police Department. But these are the only clothes that they allowed me to keep of my own. They took them all away from me. These people are obviously trying to drive me insane or cause my death, both. I have been suspended 2 times since the last time we met. A fire alarm went off around 11:30 p.m., like it does twice a week. There were no lights that came on. There were females sleeping outside Tier 2's women dorm door. I could not get my walker out, and I had to use the restroom. So did 3 non-black females. Justin says that I can't use the word white to describe white people. So I chose to use non-black. Okay, one of the women were mute, but she can read, she can read your mouth. Okay, so they gave me a hard time. A couple of staff members pressed me in my chest, pushing me back. So we all went in the bathroom, whatever. 7 hours later, they suspended me for 1 day. Then here comes the second time. I took somebody's belongings from one part of the floor and moved it to another part of the floor. Okay, and as a Tier 2 person, we were told that we could do certain things between 7 and 8 p.m., 8 a.m., but we couldn't do it after that time. I was having chest pains. I have a heart problem. I saw a bag that had my medication in it, so I reached behind the counter and got my medication. I was suspended for 10 days for that. Okay. Everybody else in Tier 2 did the same things I did, but they were not suspended. Okay. According to Advanced Pathways Intake Package, 1, 2, 3. Number 3, investigative hold. Suspension duration may be delayed pending investigation, law enforcement involvement, or administrative review. I requested an investigative hold on my situation. I was told by Justin Walters I could not have that, that I had to get my shit and get out off of the property. When I spoke to Jim, the CEO, he said, oh, we'll do an investigation after I did the 10 days. They refused to give me my medication. They refused to give me my clothing. When I tried to talk to anybody about it, oh, well, I didn't know this happened. Oh, I didn't know that happened. Why the hell is he a CEO? He's supposed to know what's going on with the people and in that building.
Well, please wrap up your comments.
Yeah, and you were there when I tried to get my medication.
Oh
So
my
you know
God.
What I'm saying is the truth.
I'm not surprised. He
And
lives
the
there.
police was not allowing me to get my medication.
Katie, call the next speaker.
Katie,
You were there.
please call the next speaker.
Zachary Cotton, followed by Aaron Contreras.
And I will be taking legal action.
Zachary Cotton. Okay, Aaron Contreras, followed by Kiowa Lewis.
Good afternoon, City Council. My name is Aaron Contreras. I represent Carpenters Local 555 here in Denver, Colorado. And I'm here to talk to you guys and speak about the importance of apprenticeship programs in the skilled trades, as well as the important role that labor unions play in developing a strong local workforce. Apprenticeships provide individuals with the opportunity to earn a paycheck while learning valuable in-demand skills through hands-on training and classroom education. This approach helps create highly qualified workers without requiring them to take on significant student debt. It also helps address skilled labor shortages while offering meaningful career opportunities for residents of all backgrounds. Union apprenticeships are known for maintaining high standards of training, safety, and craftsmanship. They invest in the next generation of skilled workers by providing comprehensive education, mentorship, and ongoing professional development. This benefits not only the apprentices, but also employers, taxpayers, and the community by ensuring projects are completed safely, efficiently, and to a high standard. Being part of a union also provides workers with a collective voice. Union members often have access to competitive wages, quality health insurance, retirement benefits, and continuing their education. These benefits can also contribute to workforce stability, reduce turnover, and support local families, which in turn strengthens the local economy. By supporting apprenticeships, this opportunity, and recognizing the value of union trade workers, our city can help build a skilled workforce that is prepared to meet current and future infrastructure, construction, and public service needs. Investing in these programs is an investment in our community's long-term economic growth, safety, and prosperity. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Kiowa Lewis, followed by Cassandra Hill.
I sit here and go over the scriptures, and it tells us in the book of Revelations that the souls that will be lost will be greater than the sand on the seashore. What's even more interesting is people say that the scripture does not tell you how to get into the kingdom. That's a lie. It actually does. So my thing I see is I sit here and I look at the council, particularly, Stephanie, really don't know too much about, Amy or Gianna, I think that's how you say your name, with all due respect. Don't know too much about you too, but the rest of y'all, I sit up here, and even my man right here, Rob, I don't know too much about you either. But you can tell a tree by the fruit that it bears, right? So when you sit up here and navigate who is going to hell, right now, y'all have so much grace bestowed upon y'all right now, y'all have no clue. You call Yahweh Father. The thing is, if this was truly your Father, you would operate in a different capacity. So with that, with you knowing this, you are not getting into the kingdom of heaven, because not all his creation is his children. And I really need you to know that. But I will let you know that there will become a day, judgment day. I will be at the right hand if he allows me to. And we are coming for all people who decide to side with Satan. Because we don't play that. It's not happening. But right now, the only reason you're still here is because of grace and mercy that our Father still bestows on you to wake up every single day, to drive every single day, to enjoy your little luxury paths. But when that time is up, it is definitely going to happen. We still got the tribulation coming. We still got a lot of things that's going to happen. So I want y'all to know that everybody who says, Lord, Lord, is not going to make it into the kingdom of heaven. I'm definitely letting y'all know that as well. I'm so ready for this world to end, and I'm ready for the war. I'm ready for the war because if y'all don't get it right, I will be the person that y'all see possibly last, before you take your last breath as a spirit. So, I give praise to the Most High. I see what's happening in this world, and Mike Hoffman, your works is not going to get you into the kingdom. There's stuff is on Facebook that you're with the homeless people. Well, honestly, your fruit tells us something totally different. So just know this is not a personal threat from me. It's a spiritual threat from my Father and what the Scripture tells us. It's going to happen. So my Father, Yahweh, you know, that's what it is, y'all. I want to spread this news because mercy is coming to an end. So, yeah.
Cassandra Hill, followed by Gary Beasley.
Hello, Aurora City Council. As you know, my name is Cassandra Heil. I am with the Denver Aurora Community Action Committee, otherwise known as the ACAC. You have heard me speak over and over again about how corrupt and violent APD is, and you've heard many others speak to that as well. Your solution is this Public Safety Accountability Office. I've pointed out multiple times that without any community input and the lack of power this office has, it will not be able to hold cops accountable. Let's look at Denver's Citizen Oversight Board as an example. It was created in 2005. If oversight worked, DPD should be trustworthy, right? No. Instead, we see continued corruption, violence, and costly lawsuits. About 2 months ago, the Denver police changed its policy, so it no longer reports incident it deems quote-unquote minor to the Citizen Oversight Board. They claim that low-level investigations were taking too long. So because investigations take time, DPD has decided it shouldn't be investigated. It sounds like DPD just wants to cover their tracks and hide records from the Oversight Board. The police can't police themselves. That's why the Oversight Board was put there in the first place. During the George Floyd protests in 2020, Denver police were found liable for violating protesters' civil rights. In 2022, officers illegally raided the home of 77-year-old Ruby Johnson. More recently, DPD expanded its taser policy to allow for greater use of force. They quietly introduced surveillance drones into the community because they knew the community would be against it. They also rolled back disciplinary actions or disciplinary standards despite opposition from the Office of Independent Monitor, the Citizens Oversight Board, community organizations, and Denver residents even. This is just a very small list of more recent corruption in the Denver Police Department, even after having an oversight board for over 20 years. This PSA office will be the same. Cops do not change their behavior because someone's watching. They change their behavior when there are consequences for their actions. This PSA office can document problems, it can write reports and make recommendations, but it does not change who holds the power. If Aurora truly wants to address the violence, corruption, and lack of accountability within APD, then the community must have real authority over the department. We need community control of the police because meaningful, lasting change only happens when power is placed in the hands of the people. Also, fire Todd Chamberlain. It's insane he still has a job.
Gary Beasley, followed by Anna Sine.
Well, first of all, I want to sort of give myself an out here. I observed a violent auto accident today at Mississippi and Buckley. There were some of the officers there that I knew, and one of the things that I really admire for the Aurora Police Department is they were using a translating app on their phone to talk to one of the witnesses that didn't speak English very well. But anyway, first of all, my name is Gary Beasley. I've lived in Ward 3 for about 79 years. I was born and raised on Potomac, live not very far off Potomac now. And I've been to almost all of your board meetings. And I'm not sure why we only have like 5 city council members in person. I know there's some of our city council members are on a business trip. Some of them, I've never seen in the last couple of months present, so I wonder why that is. Along with the translating apps, they also have the blue envelope that can be handed out to various people with communications problems and that sort of thing, like I'm sort of having right now. I want to apologize for the cameraman there, because I was talking to a colleague, and I did observe some very, I'm so touched by a donation from the man there with the camera to the lady that just left. I'm amazed. Anyway, okay, so ADA, I have a cousin that was raised in the Denver metro area that climbed the steps of the Capitol, crawled up the steps of the Capitol because she couldn't walk. This is 2026. How come we don't have ADA compliance here? I mean, I have trouble with these steps. I mean, somebody that's, with a walker or whatever, come on. I understand that it has already been approved to do some ADA work, but it hasn't happened. And I have a hearing loss, and so trying to hear the people speaking here and the people at the dais, I can't. We should have translating. If you watch this on Aurora 8, you can put closed captioning on. And sometimes that's why I don't come, because I can't hear it. So anyway, also thanks for the fire department.
Thank you.
Anna Sign.
Hi, my name is Anna. Thank you for having us tonight and for allowing us to bring up our concerns. I did want to talk about something that has caused me to have some concerns recently. I lived in Colorado for about 12 years, and I've lived in the Aurora area for about 10 of those with my family. And we've always felt relatively safe in our neighborhood. A couple months ago, about February of this year, I noticed a elderly gentleman on a street corner. He looked to be, late 50s, early 60s, like a grandpa type maybe. And he was on the street with a sign, asking for money. He said he was a veteran. And I engaged with him several times, asking him how he was doing, giving him resources from the VA, several pamphlets on multiple occasions. And his name is Don, and he was on the street for some time, and I noticed that as he was on the street longer, he looked not better but worse. So I asked him, where he lived, because I had observed just from my commute from work that he was coming from a particular neighborhood, so I was unsure if he was, really homeless or not. And he told me that he lived in the neighborhood across the way, and I realized that that's where I thought he was living, and that he needed money. And he'd had some circumstances that had changed in his personal life, and that he needed cash. On one time, I asked him how much he made a day. He said about $100. And I said, how much more money do you need? And he said, $200. And I said, so 2 more days, right? And he said, right. And he's still on the corner, and it's been months. And I have seen him on multiple occasions slumped over and against a sign, looking like he's completely sort of compromised by a certain substance. And I've just noticed that people give him money, people give him things. That intersection is trashed. I've called Aurora Police multiple times. They have been responsive with my calls. It just takes a while to get it cleaned up, so it just always looks trashed. What my ask is maybe something that's a bit more quick, just because our neighborhood is turning into like a garbage, in that intersection. I'll get fined if I throw trash out the window, but he can throw trash wherever he likes and it's fine. And I've just seen him deteriorate And it's really because people, out of their generosity and kindness, maybe sometimes naivete, are giving him money, but he is not improving. And I think that resources are not the solution. I have some solutions.
Katie, please give me your contact information.
Katie. Measle.
Yes. That was the last individual.
Okay, very well. The next question before us is the adoption of the consent calendar on motions, item number 10C1. Motion is in order.
Mayor,
Mayor Pro Tem.
move to approve item 10C1.
It's been moved by Mayor Pro Tem, seconded by?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Wiles to approve item number 10C1. Discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on the adoption of item number 10C1.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes. Next question before us.
Mayor, I'm still getting
sorry.
the votes. Sorry. Councilmember Gardner.
Yes.
Councilmember Jackson, thank you. The motion passes unanimously to adopt the consent calendar for motions.
Oh, okay. Next question before us is the adoption of the consent calendar on resolutions and ordinances. Item number 11A1 to item number 11A3. A motion is in order.
Mayor, motion to approve 11A1 through 11A3.
Moved by Councilmember Gardner, seconded by? Seconded by Councilmember Hancock to approve the consent calendar on resolutions and ordinances, item number 11A1 to 11A3. Discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on the adoption of the consent calendar on resolutions and ordinances, item number 11A1 to 11A3.
Councilmember Gardner.
Yes.
Councilmember Jackson, thank you. The motion passes unanimously to adopt the consent calendar for resolutions and ordinances.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 12A.
Item 12A is public hearing and consideration of Resolution 2026-81, approving the 7th Amendment to the Service Plan for the Sand Creek Metro District.
Public hearing is now open. A presentation by staff.
Good evening, Mayor and members of Council. I am Michael Kerrigan, the Special Districts Administrator with the Department of Development Services. Today for your consideration, we have the 7th Amended Service Plan for the Sand Creek Metropolitan District. The Sand Creek Metropolitan District serves the commercial property project known as Gateway Park, generally located between 40th Avenue and 28th Avenue on the north and south, and between Chambers Road and Tower Road on the west and east sides. The service plan was originally approved in 1995 and has been amended 6 times previously. The first amendment was to change the name of the district, and the past 5 amendments were to increase the district's debt limit. This 7th service plan amendment will also increase the debt limit. The district has taken a conservative approach to its debt issuance practice over the years by only seeking authority and issuing enough debt to cover near-term identifiable projects. This 7th Amendment follows that same approach, whereby the district is seeking an increase in the debt authority from $105 million to $200 million. The debt proceeds that would ultimately be issued by the district are anticipated to be used on infrastructure projects for the remaining 100 acres of undeveloped land within the project. Additionally, the district anticipates seeking a Tabor election this November for the electoral authorization for this additional debt authority. We do have a representative from the district tonight to answer any questions you may have. City staff has not received any public comments on this matter.
So is there a presentation by the applicant?
No separate presentation.
There is not. Does anybody wish to speak on this issue?
No.
Questions of the of staff or the applicant? Seeing none, public hearing is now closed, and the motion is in order.
Mayor Bergen, motion to approve 12A.
Moved by Councilmember Bergen, seconded by Councilmember Hancock to approve item number 12A. Discussion? Seeing no further discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 12A.
Councilmember Gardner.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously to adopt item 12A.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 13A.
Item 13A is introduction of ordinance 2026-32, amending Chapter 106 of the Aurora City Code regarding membership requirements for the Aurora Oil and Gas Advisory Committee.
A brief presentation by staff.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. My name is Jeffrey Moore. I'm the city's manager of the Energy and Environment Division, and I'm just waiting for the slides to show up. There they are. Very good. Thank you so much for your time this evening for this brief item. We are looking at a proposed ordinance to clarify, not change, but clarify the membership requirements for the city's Oil and Gas Advisory Committee.
Please proceed.
Apologies, I'm waiting for the slides to advance here. Thank you. All right. The Oil and Gas Advisory Committee was established by City Council in 2015 to provide advice to the City Council on matters related to oil and gas development in the city. The Oil and Gas Advisory Committee currently meets on a quarterly basis. The committee is comprised of 3 categories of members. Category A is 5 citizens. That is the language of the original ordinance of Aurora. And those must be residents of Aurora. Category B is 3 representatives of the oil and gas industry with operations in Aurora. So this would be a company that has operations in Aurora with oil and gas operations, and then they have a person that would apply to be a member of the Oil and Gas Advisory Committee. Category C is 3 individuals who are surface or property and mineral owners. Again, these are typically developers of large parcels. The company is, and then they will have a person that works for that company apply to be a member of the committee. 2025, the City Council adopted Resolution 2025-78, which reiterates requirements in the City Code Section 2769 that says all board and commission members shall be residents of the city unless specifically stated otherwise in the City Code or Charter. As it's written, the ordinance that created this committee did not specifically state that the industry members and the landowner members did not need to be residents. We believe that's created some uncertainty in the membership categories, and this ordinance is a proposal to fix that. It was not the intention of the original ordinance to require the industry representatives or property owners to be residents of the city, given the nature of their positions. Again, these are companies that are working in Aurora, but the people that work for those companies might live somewhere else in the metro area. The proposed amendment would clarify these exceptions by making them explicit to comply with city code in the resolution, provide certainty to the volunteers who serve as members of the committee. And these changes here on the slide are literally the only ones that would be made. In B there for industry representatives, we would add the part in yellow that industry representatives are not required to be residents of Aurora. And for C, the 3 surface or property owners, we would add, while preference will be given to Aurora residents and companies located in Aurora, surface or property owners are not required to be residents of Aurora, or in the case of the company, to be located in Aurora itself. That's the end of my presentation, but please answer any questions.
Questions of staff?
Mayor,
Councilmember Horton.
no questions for staff at the moment, but I asked to continue this item to the July 27th meeting.
Oh, very well. So motion to continue
Motion.
to July 27th, and is there a second?
I second it.
Seconded by Councilmember Andrews. Discussion. Can you tell us why you want to continue?
Yeah, happy to. I think there's my primary concern is that there's some potential for outside individuals who don't have an investment as residents. And so I would like to work with staff to understand the full scope and history besides, the few slides presented. So just 2 weeks to provide more clarity and make sure that there could be a vote of confidence.
Very well. Do you wish to address this now, or?
I can address the question, but happy to follow up later, Councilmember, as well.
Okay, very well. Okay.
Thank you.
Mayor?
Councilmember Bergen?
Yeah, could Jeffrey please explain the membership?
I'm sorry. Explain the membership?
Yeah, for the oil and gas change.
Yeah, I think okay, if you could explain that again, please.
Thank you, Councilmember Bergen. The three categories of members were as listed on the slides. First, residents of Aurora. Those must be residents. And then industry members. Again, that is a company that is working in Aurora, doing oil and gas work in Aurora, but the person from that company that applies for membership on the committee does not necessarily need to themselves live within the city of Aurora. And the same thing for the third category of surface mineral owners. The company would be one that generally is doing work in Aurora, but the person that is applying to be a member of the committee might not themselves be a resident of Aurora.
Very well.
Yes, Mayor.
Yeah, Councilmember Bergen.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's what I thought it was. It's always been that. I guess I'm not really sure why we would continue it, because it makes sense that the industry members and the surface members would not have to live in the city of Aurora.
Jeff, do you have a response to that?
That has been the intent of the committee since it was founded in 2015, that the first category are residents. The second and third categories do not explicitly need to be residents. We certainly welcome residents to apply, and if they do, we would consider that, the committee would consider that in their membership interview.
Okay. Well, there's a motion on the floor. Does further discussion to the Horton motion to continue to July 28th? I'm sorry, what date? 27th? Further discussion to the Horton amendment.
Mayor, I do have a question.
Councilmember Hancock.
Councilmember Horton, if there is undue influence because of these outside companies? Is that your concern? Because I know that Jeffrey did a presentation and study session previously, so I'm wondering what questions remain unanswered, the reason why we need to defer this another 2 weeks.
Yeah, I appreciate the question, Councilmember Hancock. That is a concern around a number. I think that I don't know if I can still claim being a new council member, but I'm not a year in. When it comes to oil and gas, when it comes to partnership with those companies, there seems to be some commitments that past city council members have made that I just want to make sure that when it comes to this particular topic, that we all are doing our due diligence. And, I work a full-time job, so I trusted that, when we went to study session, I was like, okay, making sense. And then upon further review and preparation for this meeting, I would just like an additional 2 weeks to do my due diligence by the residents of Aurora.
Very well. Okay, the further discussion on the Horton amendment to continue, motion to continue to the 27th of July. Seeing none, call for the question on the adoption of the Horton amendment to continue to July 27th.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Gardner.
Yes.
The motion passes with 7 yes votes, 3 no votes from Councilmember Bergen, Hancock, and Lawson to move this item to the next regular council meeting.
Will the clerk now please read the title to item number 13B?
Item 13B is introduction of ordinance 2026-33, authorizing the Chief Information Technology Officer to acquire certain tangible and intangible information technology property, either by purchase or pursuant to the terms of lease purchase agreements to be entered into between the city as lessee and lease investors, vendors, or the Aurora Capital Leasing Corporation, each as lessor, authorizing officials of the city to take all action necessary to carry out the transactions contemplated hereby.
Public hearing is now open.
It's just an
I'm
introduction
sorry,
of an
what am I?
ordinance.
Just presentation by staff.
Oh, I'm sorry. Pre-presentation by staff. Oh, got the wrong one. 13B? Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Scott.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of council. This is Scott Newman, the Chief Information Officer here at the city. This is our 5th annual renewal of this ordinance. This is an annual ordinance that is required based on recommendation of outside bond counsel with additional consultation with our internal city council as well as the finance department, that in order to satisfy the IRS tax requirements and reporting requirements, we should have an annual ordinance that allows us to enter into lease purchase agreements every year. So this is simply year number 5 of the authority to enter into those lease agreements. And the ordinance does require my consultation and approval from the finance department on any lease that we enter into. So with that, I will answer any questions that the group may have.
Questions of staff? Seeing none, thank you for the presentation. Motion is in order.
Mayor, motion to approve 13B.
Moved by Councilmember Gardner, second by? Second by Councilmember Hancock to approve item number 13B. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 13B.
Councilmember Gardner.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously to adopt item 13B.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 15A.
Item 15A is a public hearing and consideration of Resolution 2026-82, making certain findings of fact regarding the proposed annexation of 2 parcels of land located in the south half of the southeast quarter of Section 12, Township 4 South, Range 66 west of the 6th Principal Meridian, Arapahoe County, Colorado.
Public hearing is now open. Presentation by staff.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council. My name is Justin Andrews. I'm a project manager with the Office of Development Assistance. Items 15A through 15E are all dealing with related properties being annexed separately in series to ensure compliance with state statutes and contiguity requirements. A petition for annexation was filed with the city clerk for annexation of 2 parcels of land totaling 20.491 acres owned by 7N LLC. These parcels are located on the southwest corner of South Gun Club Road and East Bayard Avenue. City Council made a finding of substantial compliance regarding this annexation on June 8th. The annexation process follows state law, and annexations are considered over 3 council meetings. Tonight's agenda, the second meeting in that process in which City Council conducts this public hearing, considers approval of a resolution making a finding of fact that the land is eligible for annexation and considers introduction of the annexation ordinance. There's no outside presentation by the applicants, but we're all happy to answer any questions.
Does anybody wish to speak on this issue?
No.
Very well. Questions of staff or the applicant from members of council? Seeing none, thank you for the presentation. The public hearing is closed. Motion is in order.
Mayor, move we adopt 15A.
Moved by Councilmember Hancock, seconded by?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Wiles to approve item number 15A. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 15A.
Councilmember Gardner. Councilmember Gardner. Mayor Pro Tem Coombs. Mayor Pro Tem Coombs. The motion passes unanimously to adopt item 15A.
Clerk, now read the title to item number 15B.
Item 15B is introduction of ordinance 2026-34, annexing 2 parcels of land located in the south half of the southeast quarter of Section 12, Township 4 South, Range 66 west of the 6th Principal Meridian, Arapahoe County, Colorado.
A brief presentation by staff.
Yep, so as mentioned, this is in conjunction with the presentation given for 15A. This item is the initial reading of the annexation ordinance annexing the parcels totaling 20.491 acres at Gun Club Road and East Bayard Avenue. No separate presentation.
Questions of staff? Seeing none, motion is in order.
Mayor, move to adopt 15B.
Moved by Councilmember Andrews, seconded by?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Wiles. to approve item number 15B. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 15B.
The motion passes unanimously to adopt item 15B.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 15C.
Item 15C is public hearing and introduction of ordinance 2026-35, initially zoning 2 parcels of land measuring 20.49 acres, more or less, located southwest of the intersection of East Bayou Avenue, alignment, and South Gun Club Road to mixed-use, regional, and amending the zoning map accordingly.
Public hearing is now open. Public hearing is now open. Presentation by staff.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. I'm Stephen Gubrud, Planner 2 with Aurora Planning and Business Development, and I'll be presenting on behalf of staff this evening. The first item I'll be presenting for your consideration is a zoning map amendment for the initial zoning of 2 properties which are also being considered for annexation into the city. Currently on screen is a vicinity map showing the location of the 2 parcels, which total approximately 20.49 acres, each being just over 10 acres. The properties are located at the southwest corner of the intersection of South Gun Club Road and the unconstructed East Bayou Avenue alignment. They're currently within the jurisdiction of unincorporated Arapahoe County, again, pending annexation into the city. This is the place type map from the Aurora Places Comprehensive Plan, which provides guidance for future development in the city. The subject properties for this initial zoning request are both located entirely within the Innovation Campus District place type. Other nearby place types include the emerging neighborhood to the east across South Gun Club Road and the urban green space to the south along the Coal Creek corridor. Now on screen is a map of the existing city zoning designations in proximity to the subject properties. Adjacent zone districts include the MUR, Mixed Use Regional District to the north, POS, Parks and Open Space District to the west, and there is also nearby AD Airport District zoning approximately 1,000 feet to the southwest. The applicant is proposing the subject properties be given the MUR zoning designation, which would result in a largely contiguous area of MUR, which extends to the north along the east side of E470. The proposed MUR zoning is highly compatible with the underlying Innovation Campus District place type, as it allows for development of a variety of uses, including commercial, retail, office, institutional, and some limited residential options. Office and institutional uses are identified as primary land uses within the Innovation Campus District, with commercial, retail, and residential uses being supporting land use types. This slide shows the approval criteria located within the Unified Development Ordinance for zoning map amendments, including initial zonings. These criteria require that amendments to the city zoning map exhibit consistency with the comprehensive plan and other plans adopted by the City Council. Changes in zoning must also be compatible with surrounding development. At the Planning and Zoning Commission hearing, which occurred on June 10th, 2026, the Commission unanimously recommended approval for this initial zoning request, stating that it does meet the zoning map amendment criteria listed within the UDO. And that concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions you may have. The applicant is also present this evening and available for questions. Thank you.
Is there a presentation by the applicant?
There is not.
Does anybody wish to speak on this issue?
No.
Questions of staff or the applicant by members of council?
Mayor?
Councilmember Bergen?
Yes, for the applicant, I know that it's MU Regional, which was just stated could be commercial, innovation, or industrial. Do you have any idea of what would be going in there?
Good evening, Council. Mayor Kaufman. My name is Jonah Weiss. I'm representing the property owner. I work for LJA. I'm happy to answer that question. We do not have any idea of what the actual use is going to be. Right now, we're just going through the annexation and zoning process.
Very well, thank you. Further questions of staff or the applicant? Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Motion is in order.
Mayor.
Councilmember Bergen.
I was like, it was so quiet, nobody said anything. We moved to adopt 15C.
Oh, is it, I don't know.
Me and her at the same time.
Okay, Councilmember Hancock.
5 seconds.
Okay, then moved by Councilmember Hancock, seconded by Councilmember Wiles.
Yes, sir.
I got that right? Okay. Further discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on the adoption of item number 15C. Oh. Okay.
The motion passes unanimously to adopt item 15C.
Will clerk now please read the title to item number 15D?
Item 15D is public hearing and consideration of Resolution 2026-83, making certain findings of fact regarding the proposed annexation of 3 parcels of land located in the southwest quarter, Section 7, Township 4 South, Range 65 west of the 6th Principal Meridian, and south half of the southeast quarter, Section 12, Township 4 South, Range 66 west of the 6th Principal Meridian, County of Arapahoe, State of Colorado, to be in substantial compliance with Section 31-12-1071 CRS, and giving notice of a public hearing on the proposed annexation.
Public hearing is now open. Brief presentation by staff.
All right. This item is the second annexation in this series I mentioned earlier. A petition for annexation was filed with the city clerk for annexation of 2 parcels totaling 46.6 acres, owned by PCG Holdings LLC. This parcel is located at the southeast corner of South Gun Club Road and East Bayard Avenue, on both the east and west side of South Gun Club Road. City Council made a finding of substantial compliance regarding the annexation on June 8th. The annexation follows state law, and annexations are considered over these 3 council meetings. We are setting the public hearing, this is where City Council conducts the public hearing, considers approval of a resolution making a finding that the land is eligible for annexation, and considers the introduction of the annexation ordinance. There's no outside presentation, but we're available for questions.
Does anybody wish to speak on this issue?
No.
Questions of staff? Seeing none, public hearing is now closed, and a motion is in order.
Mayor, motion to approve.
Moved by Councilmember Wiles, second by? Second by Councilmember Andrews to approve item number 15D. Discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on the adoption of item number 15D.
The motion passes unanimously to adopt item 15D.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 15E.
Item 15E is introduction of ordinance 2026-36, annexing 3 parcels of land located in the southwest quarter, Section 7, Township 4 South, Range 65 west of the 6th Principal Meridian, and south half of the southeast quarter, Section 12, Township 4 South, Range 66 west of the 6th Principal Meridian, County of Arapahoe, State of Colorado.
Brief presentation by staff.
Sure. In conjunction with the presentation given for 15D, this item is the initial reading of the annexation ordinance annexing the 2 parcels totaling 46.6 acres at the southeast corner of Gun Club Road and East Bayard Avenue.
Questions of staff?
Mayor Bergen.
Councilmember Bergen.
Yeah, I know on these annexations, obviously we do first the findings of fact that confirm that they in fact do qualify to be annexed. And then on this one with the annexation, do we ever do any kind of fiscal analysis of the impact? Because it's we do it backwards. We do the annexation and then the zoning. So just wondering to staff if we do any kind of fiscal analysis.
Sure.
Water use and
yeah. So Yeah, absolutely. I understood the question. All of our departments review each annexation before we consider them to be scheduled for council hearings. We have specifically Aurora Water, for example, has been involved in the most recent annexations, but we do have every department vet it for fiscal concerns as well as place type and all the other items we consider for development in the city.
Okay, thank you very much.
Further questions of staff? Seeing none, motion is in order.
Mayor? Move to adopt 15.
Moved by Councilmember Hancock, seconded by? Seconded by Councilmember Wiles to approve item number 15E. Discussion? Seeing no further discussion, call for the question on item number 15E.
The motion passes unanimously to adopt item 15E.
Will the clerk now please read the title to item number 15F?
Item 15F is public hearing and introduction of ordinance 2026-37, initially zoning a parcel of land measuring approximately 10 acres, more or less, located west of South Gun Club Road between East Alameda Avenue and future East Bayou Avenue to mixed-use regional, and amending the zoning map accordingly.
Public hearing is now open. Brief presentation by staff.
Thank you again, Mayor and council members. Stephen Gubert again with Planning and Business Development staff. I'll also be presenting 222 South Gun Club Road, zoning map amendments 1 and 2 for your consideration this evening. This application is for 2 separate initial zoning requests accompanying the annexation request for the same areas. I'll be giving a combined presentation covering both initial zonings. On screen is a vicinity map showing the location of the this is not the right one. One moment here. There we go. On screen is a vicinity map showing the location of the 2 subject parcels for which the initial zoning is being requested. Both being located within unincorporated Arapahoe County, the smaller parcel is approximately 10 acres in size and is located on the west side of South Gun Club Road, whereas the larger parcel is approximately 35.7 acres in size and located on the northeast corner of the intersection of South Gun Club Road and East Alameda Avenue. Once again, on screen, we have the place type map from the Aurora Places Comprehensive Plan that is intended to provide guidance for future development in the city. The smaller parcel located on the west side of South Gun Club Road, associated with zoning map amendment request number 1, is located within the Innovation Campus District place type, where in contrast, the larger parcel on the east side of South Gun Club Road is within the Emerging Neighborhood place type. Other nearby place types do include the urban green space, which is located to the southwest and runs along that Coal Creek corridor. This slide shows the existing zoning for the site and surrounding properties. Nearby zone districts, again, include the MUR Mixed-Use Regional District to the north along the west side of South Gun Club Road, the POS Parks and Open Space District adjacent to the west, and AD Airport District zoning to the southwest. As these properties are located within different place types, 2 different zoning designations are being requested. For the smaller property located on the west side of South Gun Club Road, MUR zoning is being pursued. For the larger parcel located on the east side of South Gun Club Road, a zoning designation of R3 or medium density multifamily district is proposed. The MUR zoning to the west of South Gun Club Road is appropriate within the underlying Innovation Campus District place type for the same reasons as described within the prior zoning application. The proposed R3 zoning is viewed as compatible with the Emerging Neighborhood place type as it allows for a broad variety of residential uses, including single-family detached, townhome, and multifamily options. These residential land uses are all described as primary uses within the Emerging Neighborhood place type. Again, on screen, we have the approval criteria for zoning map amendments that is located within the Unified Development Ordinance. And again, zoning map amendments are required to exhibit consistency with the comprehensive plan and all other plans adopted by council. Additionally, changes in zoning must be compatible with surrounding development. At the Planning and Zoning Commission hearing, which occurred on June 10th, 2026, the Commission unanimously recommended approval for both subject initial zoning requests, stating that they do meet the zoning map amendment criteria listed within the UDO. It is important to note that during staff review of the application, several public comments were received from the residents of the Thunderbird States community located within unincorporated Arapahoe County, directly east of the larger subject property. These comments have been included as an exhibit within your packets this evening and were the subject of discussion at the Planning Commission hearing. Ultimately, the Commission determined that concerns expressed within those comments would be more appropriately addressed at the time which development plans for the site are submitted. No changes to the physical property would occur as a result of approval of tonight's initial zoning requests. Any future development application will be subject to the city's public noticing standards, and staff and the applicant anticipate continued dialogue with the residents of Thunderbird Estates at such time. That concludes my presentation, and I'm available for any questions you have. Again, the applicant is also present and does not have a presentation following mine.
Does anybody wish to speak on this issue?
No.
Questions for staff or the applicant?
Mayor?
Councilmember Hancock.
Hi. I know you had mentioned that the residents of the Thunderbird community were concerned about well water concerned about that. So, or did you indicate that you're only going to address that should the developments begin, or are you addressing it prior to the master plan development of this area?
That would be addressed with the review of any subsequent site or master plan application, not at the phase of zoning that we're currently at.
And that will include these residents of that community, or is that past?
That's correct. The residents of that community would be notified once again of any type of future development application, have their opportunity to provide input.
Do you feel that there will be a negative impact at this, or can you speak to that at this point?
No, staff believes that any future development application would actually provide mitigation necessary to ease any issues that may exist with drainage in that location.
Okay, thank you.
The other piece I would add is obviously any development on this site would be utilizing Aurora water, which does not use groundwater, so we would not be drawing on groundwater in the area. We'd be utilizing Aurora water. Again, the water usage, we would not be doing any drilling down of wells or anything like that, so it's not going to impact that. As Mr. Goubrand said, the surface use is something we look at and we look to mitigate in terms of all the drainage and other issues like that. So, but in terms of direct water usage, we're not going to be accessing the aquifer that their wells are in.
Further questions for staff or the applicant? Seeing none, public hearing is closed and a motion is in order.
Move to adopt, Mayor?
Moved by Councilmember Hancock, seconded by, I'm sorry.
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Andrews. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on item number 15F.
The motion passes unanimously to adopt item 15F.
Will clerk now please read the title to item number 15G?
Item 15G is public hearing and introduction of ordinance 2026-38, initially zoning a parcel of land measuring 35.7 acres more or less, located at the northeast corner of the intersection of South Gun Club Road and East Alameda Avenue to medium-density multifamily residential and amending the zoning map accordingly.
Public hearing is now open. Presentation by staff.
No further presentation by staff. The previous was a combined presentation for F and G.
Does anybody wish to speak on this issue?
No.
Questions for the staff or the applicant? Councilmember Bergen.
We're on 15G, right?
15G.
Okay. So R3 would be multifamily residential, so it would be apartments probably?
The title of the zoning district is medium-density multifamily residential. Multifamily or apartments are one of the approved residential types allowed within that district. However, there are a broad and diverse mix of residential uses available for development within R3.
Sorry, that's my dog.
He said no. No apartments.
Like that, but
We want houses.
What's the name of your dog?
He said no.
Councilman Bergen, what's the name of your dog?
Fluffy. She is at work. She's
What's the
not
name of your dog?
Carter.
Let the record show that Carter's opposed.
Carter's opposed.
Further discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on item number, public hearing is closed. Motion is in order. It's moved by Councilmember Hancock, seconded by Councilmember Horton. We got some tough competition going on here. Further discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on item number 15G.
The motion passes unanimously to adopt item 15G.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 15H.
15H is public hearing consideration of Resolution 2026-84, making certain findings of fact regarding the proposed annexation of a parcel of land being a portion of the east half of Section 9, Township 3 South, Range 65 West of the 6th Principal Meridian, County of Adams, State of Colorado.
Public hearing is now open. Brief presentation by staff.
All right, thank you very much. A petition for annexation was filed with the city clerk for annexation of a 165-acre parcel owned by Park Hill JV 7 LLC. This parcel is located at the northwest corner and northeast corner of East 56th Avenue and Valley Head Street. City Council made a finding of substantial compliance regarding this annexation on June 8th. The annexation process follows state law, and annexations are considered over 3 council meetings. Tonight's meeting, the second meeting in that process, in which City Council conducts this public hearing, considers approval of a resolution making a finding of fact that the land is eligible for annexation and considers introduction of the annexation ordinance. There is no separate presentation by the applicants, but we're happy to answer any questions.
Does anybody wish to speak on this issue?
No.
Any questions for the staff of the applicant? Seeing none, public hearing is closed and a motion is in order.
Mayor, motion to approve.
It's moved by Councilmember Wild, seconded by Councilmember Andrews. You snooze, you lose. Further discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on the adoption of item number 15H.
The motion passes unanimously to adopt item 15H.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 15I.
Item 15I is introduction of ordinance 2026-39, annexing a parcel of land being a portion of the east half of Section 9, Township 3 South, Range 65 West of the 6th Principal Meridian, County of Adams, State of Colorado.
Brief presentation by staff.
Sure. In conjunction with the presentation for 15H, this item is the initial reading of the annexation ordinance, annexing the 165-acre parcel at 56th Avenue and Valley Head Street. No separate presentation. Happy to answer any questions.
Does anybody wish to speak on this issue? Oh, it's not a public hearing. Questions of staff? Seeing none, motion is in order.
Mayor, motion to approve 15.
Moved by Councilmember Hancock, seconded by
Second.
Councilmember Wiles. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 15I.
The motion passes unanimously to adopt item 15I.
Will clerk now please read the title of item number 15J.
Item 15J is public hearing and introduction of ordinance 2026-40, initially zoning a parcel of land measuring 165 acres, more or less, located north of the intersection of East 56th Avenue and Valley Head Street to Airport District, and amending the zoning map accordingly.
Public hearing is now open. Brief presentation by staff.
Thank you again, Mayor and Council members. Stephen Gubrud, Planning and Business Development staff, and I'll be presenting the final zoning map amendment request for initial zoning before you this evening. let's see. There we go. Currently on screen is a vicinity map showing the general location of the subject property. The parcel is located directly north of the intersection of East 56th Avenue and Valley Head Street. Otherwise, approximately 2/3 of a mile east of the northeast corner of 56th Avenue and Powhatan Road. The proposal does encompass lands on both the east and west sides of North Valley Head Street. Currently on screen is, again, the Aurora Places Comprehensive Plan place type map for the subject parcel and surrounding areas. The comprehensive plan place type designations are industry hub for the subject property and for the entirety of the surrounding area. The industry hub place type includes areas typically dedicated to manufacturing, warehousing, distribution and fulfillment centers, freight operations, and renewable energy enterprises. And now on screen is a zoning map showing the existing city zoning surrounding the property. As you can observe, the parcel is bordered to the south and west by the AD, Airport District zoning designation. The property is currently located within unincorporated Adams County, pending annexation to the city. It's bordered by unincorporated Adams County, both to the north and east. Additionally, the property is within the DIA and Colorado Air and Spaceport Airport Influence Overlay Districts, and an navigation easement has been recorded for this property. No site or master plan has been submitted for development of the land at this time. And this slide just shows the resulting zoning if the zoning map amendment were to be approved. You could see, again, AD zoning for the site would create contiguity with existing AD zoned areas to both the west and south, as well as those located further to the east past Monahan Road. The AD zone district exhibits compatibility with the industry hub place type, allowing for development of a variety of commercial, office, institutional, and light industrial uses while strictly prohibiting residential development. Currently on screen are the approval criteria for zoning map amendments, including those for initial zoning. Generally, amendments to the city zoning map must be consistent with the comprehensive plan and other plans adopted by council. Changes to the zoning map must also be compatible with surrounding development. At the Planning and Zoning Commission hearing, which occurred on June 24th, 2026, the Commission unanimously recommended approval for this initial zoning request to AD Airport District, stating that it met the zoning map amendment criteria listed within the UDO. And with that, I've concluded my presentation and I'm available for any questions you may have. The applicant is available for questions, but does not have a presentation following mine. Thank you.
Does anybody wish to speak on this?
No.
Questions of the applicant questions of staff for the applicant? Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Motion is in order.
Mayor, move we adopt.
Moved by Councilmember Hancock, seconded by
Second.
Councilmember Wiles. Councilmember Wiles comes in again. Further discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on the adoption of item number 15J.
Councilmember Bergen? Councilmember Bergen? Thank you. The motion passes unanimously to adopt item 15J.
Reports. Councilmember Andrews.
No report, Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem Coombs.
So go bye-bye.
Councilmember Gardner. Councilmember Jackson.
No report.
Councilmember Horton.
I always have a report.
We're going to go 5 for 5?
Yeah. Why am I not surprised?
So a few things about, okay, if I can speak. So it's been a couple weeks since the last council meeting, so just like to share a few things that happened. First, I want to thank staff for covering for the Ward 1 Town Hall in June. I was out on vacation, and so I really appreciate them stepping in and presenting and facilitating the conversations and the follow-ups thereafter. We met with the Aurora Sister Cities, which I serve on the board in my capacity as city council member. We met with a representative from France. The mayor was there at the Korean Memorial in Ward 1. A potential opportunity, we'll see, fingers crossed, of being able to add a new Sister Cities to our repertoire. Aurora Sister Cities also has a gala coming up in August, so if anyone's interested, I'll be posting that on my socials. Excited to celebrate the diversity of our city in that way. 4th of July, spent that with my family. It was 250 years we were celebrating as a country, and I will say that we are still striving to fulfill the promissory note that is the Declaration of Independence. Attended a conference last week with a few of my peers on the dais, and one of the things I was really appreciative. One, it was a bunch of local officials, so we got to nerd out about why local government is so important. Even though sometimes I feel like we could get lost in the sauce when it comes to the government and the political realm, but we get to have the direct impact on y'all's lives and on our lives. And so one of the things I'll take away from that conference is some ideas on how to reactivate space, and especially in Ward 1 where we have old buildings, vacant buildings. I think we're ripe for opportunity to do some really good work working alongside community of visioning how do we revitalize. The next piece of that is just this morning, Mayor Kaufman and I met with a delegation of students who are traveling to South Korea this Thursday. So very excited for them. International travel is incredibly powerful, especially for our young people. And so I wish them safe travels and many good stories to come back with. Upcoming, next Wednesday, July 22nd, we have the Aurora Youth and Families Night at Moorhead Rec Center from 6 to 10 p.m. We extended the rec hours so we could have more intentional activities time. I want to thank staff and especially my fellow colleague, Councilmember Angela Lawson, for her work and partnership and making sure that we could provide an evening where we could really focus on our young folks not only in Ward 1, but across Aurora. So anyone's welcome. We got nonprofits, an extensive amount of resources. So please join us in that evening celebration. Bring your families. There'll be good food, and it'll be a really good time. And then the very next evening is my Ward 1 Town Hall. It's going to be at the Aurora Fire Station number 3, which is on 31st and Peoria. So thank you.
Councilmember Wiles.
Thanks, Mayor. First of all, thank you to everybody who attended the Data Center Town Hall. Obviously, we didn't get to cover everything, but it was a good start, so I appreciate the dialogue and how everybody was respectful to one another and allowed questions to be asked and answered, so I appreciate that. I also attended the conference. I think it's really interesting to see other cities and what they're doing to fix the same issues that we have. So we were in Baltimore. They have parts of their city that are food desert. We have parts of our city that are food deserts. They are going through a revitalization. There's a lot we can learn from them as far as what they've done, including some creative use of spaces and ways to get libraries into the community in smaller spaces that we may not have considered before. Also, thanks to the Fireworks Fast Pitch Tournament, and a special shout out to Lucy, one of our youth athletes. I've never thrown a softball in my life, and Lucy talked me through it, managed to get it over the plate, so I appreciate her coaching me up during that. Also, congrats to all of our Aurora employees with their years of service celebration. There was lots of long-timers here, and so appreciate your service to the city. And then on July 25th, that's the Day of Resilience, as we remember what happened in July years ago. There is a 5K walk run, so please make sure you sign up for that and walk alongside me. I will not be running, but I'm happy to walk with you. And then finally, August 1st, there is an event called the Mile Long Table, and it will be held at the National Western Center. This is an opportunity to sit next to people you don't know and share a meal with them, talk about stories. They have this throughout the entire country, so I went last year. It was a great time. I encourage you to sign up for it. It's free, and it's a great way to meet others in the community. Thank you.
Councilmember Medina is excused. Councilmember Hancock.
Thanks, Mayor. So my town hall was last Thursday. It was great. People came. My next town hall will have Pete and Jason, which will be awesome. We'll be talking about city stuff, the things that you don't always know about, but they're important to know because, well, they're important to know. I was here for the 4th of July celebration, watching the fireworks from the roof. That was it was packed. People had a fantastic time. And not everybody hates each other in this city. There are people who actually love each other and have a great time together, which I found very encouraging. I was along with Councilmember Wiles at the softball, I guess. I keep saying baseball, but it's actually softball. And there was probably like 1,000 girls there, and the teams were fantastic. And these girls played excellent softball. I can't throw a ball if my life depended on it, but it was really nice being there and seeing these young ladies and girls, little girls, high schoolers. I think some of them are eligible for Division I, Division II scholarships in college, which I think is quite great. I love girls in sports. I think it's just a great opportunity. And it was really nice to present awards to the coaches and staff and those people who support these young ladies in their endeavors. I also wanted to let everybody know that we also, Councilmember Medina and I, there was a group of young students here, Freedom Summer Camp. They came into the chambers a couple of days ago to learn about what life in the city council is and how they can be productive, engaged, informed, activated citizens. And it was really great talking to these young people. They had great insight, and I expect one of them, there was definitely one young lady who I think has a career in government at some point, but it was really nice to meet these young people. And so that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Lawson.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to just say that it was great working with Councilmember Horton, and I really appreciate her engaging me on the Youth and Family Night and taking some of the ideas. And I hope everyone attends. I think it'll be a great resource area and also just fun for the kids and also for their families. So thank you, Councilmember Horton. I wanted to say that I did get elected for the Colorado Municipal League Executive Board. So I was very happy to serve another year on the executive committee. The CML it advocates for municipal interests at the state legislature. I've been on this committee for a while. It was a election type for the largest city. So I was able to serve another year on CML. To give my latest legislative update, the 21st Century Road to Housing Act became law on July 11th, 2026, after advancing through the U.S. Congress with broad bipartisan support. The legislation was enacted after the constitutional period for the presidential action expired. So the president did not sign it, but because of the 10-day window and the the expiration, it passed into law anyway. The House Transportation and Infrastructure TI Committee will hold a rescheduled markup of several measures, including the Water Resources Development Act of 2026, we call it WARDA, HR 9497, which the city has been identified as a municipality to receive funds for water projects. The Federal and State and Intergovernmental Relations Committee will meet Thursday. I'm the chair of that committee, and we have Councilmember Wiles and our co-chair, Councilmember Jackson. It will be at 12 noon virtual. We'll hear presentations from Adams and Arapahoe County health departments on their efforts to serve the communities in Aurora. So if anyone can get on virtually on that, I think it'll be a very good, interesting presentation. And that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Bergen.
Thank you, Mayor. A few weeks of lots of activity. I attended the CML conference, which is the Colorado Municipal League. Some notable presentations were the AI presentation. Really enjoyed that one, and it also scared me. It's just got to be careful what's out there. Also, we had a data center presentation, and it was actually by one of our own city attorneys, Brian Rula, and he did a fantastic job. A lot of people really enjoyed that session on data centers. And then also another one that I enjoyed was DOLA, which is the Department of Local Affairs. and they talked about some of the legislative updates that happened this past session, as well as Proposition 123 and some of the changes that are happening there. Of course, they have the Division of Housing, so they talked about affordable housing, eviction processes and so forth, as well as obviously dealing with local government. I had to actually chair the roadway committee for E470, and then of course 4th of July. I think a lot of us had a lot of emails and phone calls during that period preceding and during 4th of July. I hope everyone had a wonderful 250th birthday of the United States, and we are looking to make some changes so that our fire chief can call for a ban earlier than when he was able to do so, just based on our current ordinance. And also, we had an opportunity to meet the candidates for the council aides, so I did that last Monday and had some very good interviews. Also, I participated in the Skywatch Park interview process, so it's a series of different meetings. This particular last meeting was the actually making the decision on the finalists that were chosen for the public, the art for public places at the Skywatch Park, which is off of Smoky Hill, previously called Dome Park. So we have to get the park actually constructed, but we do have an artist for the artwork, and we'll be working through that process a little bit further. Also had the E470 executive meeting and board meeting. And then lastly, I attended the waste management ribbon cutting for their recycling and hauling facility. It was very well attended by electeds, and just kudos to Waste Management for such a great sustainable facility. And that's my report.
Thank you. I put a lot of my activities down on my Facebook page, and you can find that at Mike Kaufman Facebook. Then I will have a town meeting on this Saturday at the Aurora Central Library from 2 to 3:30. We'll be doing an update on the drought situation, as well as talking about our new animal shelter that is being built. With that, public invited to be heard.
Tanya Tabachek, followed by Median Schaffner.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I just wanted to say that July 4th, actually the Aurora Fest, those fireworks are awesome. I think you should try that for July 4th. Those are awesome, and there were no fireworks. They were just the drones, which were awesome. So that was a great show. I forgot to mention that before. My other concern is the Aurora call-in line. I know that you guys mentioned it and working on, I heard something about like you have to get approval or something to get some call-in number to call in. I don't know if that is really, I'm trying to remember what you guys had mentioned. But I know that my mom hasn't come to the meetings because she's still getting well and she's not feeling well. And so, and other people that don't have the capability or can come to the council meetings, right now they don't have the ability to speak and let others hear what they have to say. The other thing is with the decorum thing, I know that everyone needs to be heard and spoken, and also just going to reflecting with the council, the town hall meetings and so forth. I just hope that people continue to show up that are here, and those that aren't here, if you could show up, that'd be nice, because it's hard for some people to go to the different town hall meetings, wherever they are. And as well regarding the animal shelter, I'm looking forward to that speedily coming to pass, not hopefully sooner than later, to get those animals a better life on which they have. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Median Schaffner, followed by Ayante Anderson.
Ms. Della Jordan comes to this council chamber as often as possible. And I want to make sure that I say out loud for the community that's here, or the community that is watching, to understand what we are seeing as she's coming to these chambers. What we saw today was an open book of what it costs when your community is not heard. Every time she has come to this chamber, she has been honoring of her own story inside of the confines of the time that you give her to speak. But today we saw something different. So we are seeing a pattern from someone who is not being heard. And history has warned us that the language of the unheard is protest. So she spoke specifically about what's going on, and she continues to come. And now all of a sudden we're seeing those same lame body language from those who simply are showing that they do not care about their constituency. Eyes down, something else going on. And what I likely will see, what all of us will likely start seeing, is all of a sudden you have community members coming to this podium talking about how tired they are of hearing from Ms. Della Jordan. We'll start seeing your response and your reaction as if she is the problem. Because we still have individuals who want to judge the effect and never want to speak about the cause. And we saw a community member talk about a man who is somewhere on a corner in Aurora, and she wanted to speak about the trash that she sees that he leaves. She spoke about how she engaged with him, asking, how much money do you need? He makes $100 a day. And she said, how much more do you need? He told her $200, and she said, oh, so only 2 more days. That is not love in a city. But the interesting part is that's the one that gets contact. Katie, can you please give me her contact information? Della Jordan told all of us, Mike Kaufman, that you were on site when she experienced this problem. Interestingly enough, we didn't see that in your photo op. All we saw was an air mattress and noise-canceling headphones, which is probably the reason why you didn't hear what happened to Della Jordan. So we are not convinced that there is care happening when you're visiting these spaces and trying to claim that you care. Della Jordan deserves to be heard, and I can assure you with our help, she will be.
Aonte Anderson, followed by Kirk Manzanares.
Just a heads up for all of y'all that wear glasses, when you are scrolling on your phones, we can see them reflected in your glasses. Just a heads up. I just want to make sure that's very clear and pointed out, because I know often you all are talking about how to police what's happening here at this podium, or somebody said a mean word or said something mean to me, but how do you think those individuals that approach the podium, and it's not just us that you do this to, I've watched it happen with folks that are actually saying that, hey, we hate those other people that come to the podium and you're still scrolling on your phone. And then those of us that have been here for 2 years plus, you're still scrolling on your phone. But right now, Councilmember Hancock, I can literally see her phone right now in her hand as she's looking down on her phone. And thank you for affirming it with your head nod. I hope the voters will remember how you treat people. Moving on, I listened to your study session. I was disappointed to hear that Councilmember Bergen's amendment to admonishing the youth public comment was passed. Disappointed that that was passed. And I hope that you all will revisit that before it is finally passed. It is important that young people do have unrestricted, or excuse me, they should not be lumped into the general public comment and saying, let's just prioritize them. Denver does that. It doesn't necessarily work. I believe that the young people of your city deserve to have a dedicated public comment time that is uninterrupted. They shouldn't have to compete with anybody else, and those who are bringing city issues should not have to compete with them. But what you're doing is you're now placing young people and those who are older in direct conflict with one another. So I do hope that there is space and opportunity for folks to reflect on your values and to make sure that that is fixed for the upcoming council meeting. That is the wrong direction. I'm going to go back to the phones because it's really disrespectful. Councilmember Hancock. 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 For those that are watching, the reason why I'm calling her name is because I'm waiting for her to just get off of her phone and pay attention. Whoever runs against Councilmember Hancock, I hope that you utilize this, timestamp it, July 13th at 8:05 p.m. I want you to timestamp this. Use this as an opportunity to make sure that you use that in your election campaign against her. That's just blatant disrespect. You ain't got to like the person, but at least you can at least give them your attention. This is why people get up here and say crazy shit to you. It's because you do shit like this.
Kirk Manzanares, followed by Ellen Wu.
Danielle Jariski acted the same way, and she's at home. Remember that.
All right, we're going to get out of here early tonight. So we're back here at the People's House, and we're so glad that we are working together to make Aurora a better city. At the forefront of what I want to say to you is that water seems to be a big issue in Aurora. We don't have enough of it. Our city is frying, but yet we're inviting data centers to build new data centers. We're allowing fracking companies to come in and dig and go underneath the Aurora Reservoir to create possible dangers and contamination and pollution within our city. Are we going to wait until we are Flint, Michigan before we do something about this? There are star and state legislators and Arapahoe County commissioners that are coming together to form a roundtable to try to put a stop to the fracking around the Aurora Reservoir. I hope that you guys will push to make sure that you guys are invited and included in that roundtable discussion. Also, the data centers, man, we need to have another town hall, and we've got a long list of questions that need to be answered correctly, and we need to know about that. Also working together with a lot of community leaders and state legislators and Arapahoe County commissioners, and I know you guys are also working really hard to get young people involved, not only engaged with the Aurora City Council, but engaged with the city and what goes on here, and that they know that this is their house, that you guys are elected to serve the people of Aurora. So I look really forward to working with all the young people and expanding that young people are heard, that young people feel welcome here, and that young people engage here. Not only here, but also in the upcoming election. There's going to be a lot of young people. I hope that we have the biggest turnout of people between 18 and 36 that we've ever had in history in this next election coming up in 27. And I hope that you guys will all reach out to the young people and encourage them to engage, encourage them to be here, and encourage them to be a part of this process, not only at the Aurora City Council level, but at the state level, at the state capitol, but engage with the young people because they are our future. And that's why we need to protect our water here in Aurora, because water is our future. So we need to take a really big look at the data centers and make sure that we're not doing anything to damage the Aurora Reservoir.
Ellen Wu, followed by Justin Hands.
Transparency and community voices being heard are very important for social justice. This ensures that decisions serve those most impacted. The impacted communities know the issues best, as those are their lived experiences. Solutions target root causes and just the symptoms, not just the symptoms. This leads to active problem solutions. Transparency means open facts, figures, and rules. These are items that can be verified, and this holds those that have been elected, hired, or appointed accountable. This includes financial responsibility. Without the transparency, unfair practices are in place. Secrecy breeds suspicion and corruption. There needs to be safe spaces for every voice to be heard. This includes breaking the barriers. Trickle-down economics has never worked. Unsustainable infrastructure continues, as does urban sprawl. Generations of neglect continue. The two largest users of Aurora water are number one, Niagara Bottling. This contract was signed in 2012 to bottle Aurora water, 300 gallons per day. Gaylord, at least $2 billion in services lost, and it'll take at least 30 years if there is recoupment. Data centers, also given tax incentives, use an average of 500,000 gallons per quarter. There are 9 data centers in Aurora. Building a reservoir that may never be filled. And community member, when will there be accountability? And as a side note, the bullying by electeds in community meetings there has been bullying by electeds towards constituents and community members. Why is this acceptable?
Justin Hands.
Good evening. I'm here before you again, and I'll be before another one of your judges tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for 2 separate trials. You might ask, how did that court set me for 2 separate trials at the same time? How did I just ascend to trial 2 weeks ago and speak to a juror in the parking lot that said, hey, we all think you're guilty, but they didn't have no evidence? You know how we ended that conversation? With her telling me, as a black man in this city, when they get you, they don't let go. She was a white woman, the only one that didn't change her verdict after 2 hours in the deliberation room. We need a just justice system. We need a city manager that looks at the people that talk to him. You manage this city. You don't look at nobody that talks to you. You thought what you did to him was funny, but you represent this big-ass city, the 3rd biggest in the state of Colorado. This man does a lot of work in this community. He shows on his Facebook, and I don't know how he fucking sit next to some of y'all. I don't. Your reflection of this man, this city, the people you represent. I didn't vote this year because I just attended a trial and I said, how does this judge walk in here and sit on that bench and she hasn't been to not one of my court dates in the previous 10 months? How am I going to a trial with an officer who beats his wife in Westminster that can't even come testify but puts me as a suspect? His supervising field training officer says he's been with the Aurora Police Department for 6 years. He becomes a field training officer by doing 40 weeks in a seated fucking room, right? Tell me why this man said he didn't write a police report. Only one officer wrote a report, the one that no longer works for this city. But I didn't have a right to face my accuser. I asked my lawyer, I said, you're the only black public defender in this city. It must be hard facing a judge that denies every single one of your motions and objections that you haven't even seen in 10 months. That must be hard because I'm sitting next to her at a table, shaking from taking medicine and drinking water, 11 hours in court about to pee on myself. I said, it must be hard to hear no, no, no when you go to school for all these years to practice law and be told no, no, no. 3 more trials this week. I want you to know they're going to be lit. Because when we're done, like I told you before, I am suing this city. It's unfortunate that a black mom, 2 black moms reached out to me on Facebook Their sons are sitting in Arapahoe County Jail, 18 to 19 years old, never been convicted of a crime before, accused of a murder by a homicide detective that opened and closed the case on her own after only being a homicide detective for 3 months. The same detective I gave a video to showing I didn't point a gun at that goddamn truck driver. I said, can we trust her? Not when she's telling us nobody trained her in a fucking preliminary hearing. Can we get something right?
That was the last individual.
Seeing no further business before the Aurora City Council, meeting is adjourned.